Firstly, I would like to thank you for continuing the definition of a free spirit. You mentioned fighting, to be bodacious, to carry boldness with you, and to have a voice. You mentioned on several occasions, or may your voice be silent in some cases, as you mentioned, and how to utilize your voice, but also at the same time not exacerbating it, because at sometimes if you're going to be the only one speaking or a ringleader, if you're the only voice, you must constantly keep it heard in. What kind of other exponents would you consider to be a leader and be an influential leader in your community, and not only the community but the nation?
Well, I think what I'm hearing what you're saying is that if you get too far out ahead, or if you think that only my ideas are good, I'm going to express them, and you don't have people really supporting and following, then you're not much of a leader, because you're out there by yourself. Think of poor Joe Frederick, in Politics for Jesus case. Mr. Frederick, finally got so frustrated that he hung up that banner and went all the way up to the Supreme Court, as you know, and then it narrowed student rights because it was a crazy case. But, I think he's an example of how a frustrated student who has leadership capacity ends up really kind of just losing it and not really being effective in the end. Although, I think he was fine to express his view. What I'm suggesting is that we have to find ways to change the system that we're in, to get people supporting it, petition people, organize people. So if your school has prior review of the newspaper, organize, petition, get your community on board, get the school board to support it. In other words, I think that's what real leadership is about. Sometimes you have to go out there like Marla John and just do something dramatic to make an impact. But leadership is really about building that kind of support for what you believe in. Am I speaking?
And what would you say, the right way of petitioning a school? Because I've tried that. I ran across an incident and attempted to petition the school and the whole district and their policies that they had passed, but they considered it to be kind of disruptive and stopped us. Does the federal or the First Amendment still apply to schooling?
Yes, it does. You're in a public school?
Yes, sir.
The public schools are subject to the First Amendment.
All right.
So the question is, how far can they go in limiting your First Amendment rights? The question isn't whether they are subject to the First Amendment. They are. So the First Amendment speaks to them. They are not. The school officials have to recognize that you have certain First Amendment right to exercise these First Amendment freedoms. You do. The question is how far. If they just simply say all petitioning is disruptive, that's too far, in my view. They cannot do that. They can say, okay, reasonable time, place, and manner. You can do it in these hours. You can do it in these ways, but you can't block the hall and so forth. Fine. But I don't think that they can simply say no. They have to say yes, and here are the ground rules. For them to say that your petitioning or your speech is disruptive before you've even done it, or just on general principle, anybody who does anything like that is disruptive, that is not allowed, in my understanding of current law. It is not allowed to school officials. Their job is to find a way to give you opportunities to express yourself within those ground rules of the school. Obviously, they have to have some ground rules, but they have to be reasonable time, place, and manner restrictions. And not only that, they can't say, it's all right for the Boy Scouts to go around and get everybody to sign up for whatever it is, but you go around to sign up because you don't like the school policy. Nope, you can't do that. That's viewpoint discrimination. They may not do that. Now, if they want to try not letting have anybody sign up for anything on any kind of petition, I don't know. They might get away with that in court. I don't think so. But they certainly can't let some people go out there and sign things up, and then other people not, because they don't like your point of view. They don't want to be challenged. To me, that's illegal and unconstitutional.
Thank you.